laughed yesterday when you asked someone how long it took them to make their film, and they said, oh, you know, a week of pre-production, a day of filming, and a week of post. My short took a year to make. It's my graduate thesis project, so the first semester I had 3 other classes at the same time. I was doing pre-production, so coming up with the concept and the story and doing storyboards and starting to model on the computer. It's 3D, so everything's done on the computer. And then I actually had the summer off in between, and I spent maybe 1 day a week working on it. And then thesis, I spent 60 to 80 hours working on it for 3.5 months to get it done. And then even after thesis was done, I was still polishing. And I could still fix stuff on it, but it's like you have to put it to bed at some point. It's, you know, it's a labor of love, and I love animation. And it's just really time consuming. Each second is 24 frames, which is like a still image. So to make things move. Anyway, I won't get into it. But yeah, the total running time, just the film itself, is 1 minute. With credits, it's 1:35.
Amazing, for 1 year. 1 year, a minute, go figure,
yeah.
You know?
So,
Very good.
yeah. I mean, you see Pixar and those guys, I mean, there's like 400 people working for 4 to 5 years to make a feature film. So,
Right.
And I did this mostly myself. I had friends help, like the soda sprays. We use particles, is what it's called, to make that. So I had a friend do that for me because it's specialized, and I just didn't have time to do everything. He was supposed to have fur, that's why it's called Fluffle. Like on his red arrow, he's gonna have short fur, but that would have taken another year. So I just say his species, you know, they molt in the summer, and due to production limitations, we had to film in the summer, so he was furless. So you couldn't see him in his furry glory someday, maybe. I mean, there's parameters in that, you know, you have to keep your film really short, and I knew I wanted to do you know, something to make people laugh and smile. And I love grape soda, and I don't know if anyone's had Bolin brand grape soda, but their caps are kind of hard to turn off because they're like, they've got the little edges. So I don't know, I just thought it'd be funny to have this little creature, and I wanted my creature really simple because I had to model him and everything, and do like a biped humanoid would take forever and rig it's crazy. So I thought it'd be funny. It's this little character, and he collected bottle caps, you know, and he's missing his favorite flavor grape. Originally, he was going to be really thirsty in the desert, and he finds a bottle of soda, but then, you know, as I was telling people my concept, everyone was like, that sounds like a soda commercial, and I didn't want to make a soda commercial, so I said, you know what if he is collecting the cats instead?
Got it.
So that's how it evolved.
Good idea. Now, the software you used, what was it?
Oh yes, I used Maya, which is a 3D program, and I also used After Effects to composite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Soundtrack Pro for the sound, and I used Mental Ray for lighting, if anyone in here knows anything about 3D.
Oh, good, good. Okay.
NYU has a program called Digital Imaging and Design, and they actually have a 2D and a 3D track, so I was there. And I did actually have to write a thesis paper. It's not as long as like if you were in graduate school, so it's just sort of research, more like a research paper, and like your storyboards and your visual script and concept art and things like that were all part of the thesis. So it wasn't really writing as much as other type of graduate programs. But we were all like, what do you mean we have to write a paper? We're visual people. But
that's right, that's why I joined.
But certain things, like the actual process of keyframe animating, takes a long time. And also, you know, I probably don't work as fast as someone who's been in the business longer, you know, so it's someone who's like been working for a long time could probably make it faster, but there's still technical issues come up a lot. Like I found the hardest part of making this film was the technical problems. Like I had rigging issues, and that took a few weeks to figure out, and rendering out took time, and things wouldn't work, or you like your shadow where's my shadows, and you know, it's there's a lot of technical issues, and I think there'll always be, because even as they improve the software, there's something new, a new problem. Like, oh cool, you can do this. And it's like, why isn't this working? And that was a lot in Maya. There was a lot of cursing at Maya. My husband's like, I can't even sit next to you, the mouth of you. He told my parents, you should hear your daughter. Usually I don't curse at all. So.
Okay.
Too much information. I mean, I think there are different issues. I think 3D is technically the most difficult just because there's more things to go wrong.
Right.
But, I mean, animating in general, as I mentioned, just the actual act of animating is time consuming.
Right.
Well, I mean, you can, to make it look really good, I mean, you can animate, and it might be jerky motions or something, but I would say a Disney, of course, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, a couple of my favorites. Pretty much, and actually growing up, I used to watch like Bugs Bunny, Scooby-Doo, the old ones without Scrappy, like the Saturday morning cartoons.
The real ones, the real ones.
The real ones, the Roadrunner. Those were all awesome. But actually Disney, the Disney features, love those. But I'm not an illustrator, so I can't draw fast enough or accurate enough to be a 2D animator. So when I was went to college, the 3D wasn't really existing yet. So I didn't even consider going into animation. Actually, I have a degree in anthropology. And then I pursued theater for a long time. And then, it's really hard to make a living doing that. And then I thought I could get into animation and make a living doing something artistic, and it turns out it's really hard to make a living doing it.